The sick perverts at DePauw University. It is amazing how you have behaved and responded to the preaching of the gospel. You are a bunch of opera-eyes, a bunch of victim-minded individuals. I want to read from your DePauw newspaper about last week's preaching. Last week's preaching, you behaved so violently, you were ready to kill last week. You had murder in your eyes. You were to murdered some people here last week. You were so beside yourself. And you had murder. You had murder in your hearts, murder in your eyes, and you were being egged on by your homosexual, queer-loving president of this college. Your president is a pervert, and they were egging you on. He would have been responsible for a murder last week if the police would not have intervened. Yes, your president, your faculty members, and your staff administration were egging on your rebellion towards God, your hatred towards your fellow men who are preachers. Yes, it is amazing how wicked you responded last week. All egged on by the faculty, staff, and administration of this DePauw University. Here it says the students mobilized quickly in your newspaper article. It sounds like this school is not an educational school. This is a Sal Lewinsky Black Lives Matter radical school on how to train more black radicals to become community organizers, just like President Obama. Yes, you're being brainwashed. You're being brainwashed to become community organizers like President Obama and go around and stir up trouble, cause riots. Look at this. We have to have barricades at a university in America, in the state of Indiana. We have to have barricades to protect us from you. What does that say about your university? What does that say about your training? What does that say about your education, your background? It tells us that you've been schooled to become radicals. You're being taught to be radicals. And you love it, and you know it. Thank you. I'm glad you admit it. Yes, you admit you're being schooled to become radicals and violent people. So violent, you have to have barricades. This is amazing.
Hey, I got a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You keep the commandments, right?
Pardon?
You keep the commandments, right?
I keep God's commandments, yes, sir.
You kill adulterers.
Do I kill adulterers? That's not my job. That's President Obama's job. I'm supposed to try to save the adulterers. It's President Obama's job to kill the adulterers. There's your real separation of church and state. It's the preacher's job to try to save the adulterers. It's President Obama's job to kill them and have laws to put them to death. But you know what? Muslims kill adulterers right now in this world under Sharia law. Muslims are putting adulterers to death. They're putting homosexuals to death. They're putting rapists to death. But most of them are also raping little boys, little girls. You've been trained to be radicals. You don't know how to think. You don't know how to respond. You just know how to react emotionally. Look at these lusty hussies right there. Lusty hussies. Do you actually have parents who love you? Did your parents love you enough to spank you and teach you right from wrong? Hopefully your parents, they did not rape you or molest you. Hopefully you were not molested by your parents. Yes. I realize that most of you women have no respect for yourself, and that's why you twerk in public. Yes, women who have no respect for themselves will twerk in public. And then you wonder why men treat you like a whore. You wonder why men treat you like a piece of meat, like a slut. You wonder why men treat you dirty, why nobody respects you. You don't even have respect for yourself. You don't love yourself, you don't respect yourself.
We want change! 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 We want change!
I know you've been taught that you're the center of the universe, but you don't always get what you want. That's the facts of life. Life treats you that you don't always get what you want. This DePauw University, this is a three-dimensional cesspool of lust. This university is decadent, depraved, and degenerate. We realize that most of you have become totally depraved against God. You hate God. You hate all things that stand for God. And you love nothing but drugs, sex, booze, and rock and roll. How many masturbators do we have in the crowd here? I thought so. So, do you realize you masturbators are on your way to becoming homosexuals?
No, masturbation is autosexuality.
Your masturbator of today will more likely become your next homosexual tomorrow. And watch out, your homosexual of tomorrow might just become the president of DePauw University the next day. Yes, disgusting to have a homo president of a university. Do you know what homosexuals do to each other?
Yes. Heterosexuals do to each other. No one cares.
Homosexuals. Question? A question from this guy. Oh, sorry to tell. My name is Brother Jim. Brother Jim Gillis.
Hello, my name is Elder Davis. Brother Jim, come on.
I'm from Evansville, Indiana. We had a question for this guy right here.
Hello. So you said you know what homosexuals do to each other, right?
Yes, sir.
So how do you know?
Good question.
Yeah.
How does Brother Jim know what homosexuals do?
How do you know?
Now,
How do you know? How do you know? How do you know?
you may not believe this. You may find it utterly hard to believe and to accept. But I, Brother Jim, I have not always been like this. This is a great crowd. Yeah. This is great.
They don't care.
Is it possible to get a camera behind me, the crowd?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was kind of been filming the crowd a little bit.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I used to be. Well, some of you won't believe this. Some of you will find this so hard to believe you need to commit suicide over this next fact. But don't commit suicide. Please don't do it. But I used to be a drug gambling, sex perverted, rock and roll freak.
Hold on. Making jokes about suicide isn't funny. Let's be real here.
But I was never a homosexual. Even though my drug dealer was a homosexual, and he had the best drugs that I knew of in Evansville, Indiana. He had all kinds of fairy friends walking around his house hanging a limp wrist and talking with the Polk Street lisp all the way from San Francisco.
Hey, everybody get here! Buy birth control so we can have sex! Everybody get here! We're buying us birth control! Thank you!
And all these homosexuals that I was getting stoned with all the time, they opened my eyes to all their perverted behavior. Then I got saved at age 18. I was saved right in the middle of a Van Halen rock and roll concert. Then I began to preach to all the homos of our universities. Do you know there's homos on this campus? Yes. There are sissies and queers and lesbos on this campus. And since I also know about homosexuality because I have done my homework. My homework in the field of homosexuality consists of research, never lab work. No lab work in homosexuality allowed. Only research. Do you know that homosexuals love to stick their fists up each other's rectum? Yes, they love to do what's called fisting. They stick their whole fist up somebody's rectum. Homosexuals, they also do what's called gerbiling. They put gerbils in their rectum.
Ew!
Homosexuals are disgusting. They not only have gerbils, but ask anybody who's ever worked in the emergency center of a hospital of how many things that homosexuals have come into the hospital with things stuck in their rectums. We're talking about Coke bottles.
Wait, is that why you're so mad at homosexuals? You went to law back?
Yes, homosexuals love to ingest fecal matter. They love to eat other people's feces. That's their waste products for you students here at DePauw. In other words, they eat human refuse that comes out of your anus. They love to do what's called golden showers. Yes, golden showers is where you have a bunch of naked queers all sitting together in a circle and individuals volunteer to stand up and urinate on the homos sitting in the circle. Golden showers. Homosexuals also do what's called rim jobs. They engage in rim jobs where they will lick the anus of their homo partner. Yes, sir. Your brother what?
What troop is him? Eagle Scout troop.
He can tell you later. Because this is not your world. This is not your campus. You're a spoiled, rotten brat who's always gotten his way. You can't always get what you want when you want it. That's a lifelong learned lesson that some people never learn in life. A question right there.
God is a threat of terrible things.
Can somebody give him a megaphone so I can hear his question? This pervert has just been March X-rated. He's an X-rated pervert. X-rated. That means since he is X-rated, that means he's off limits to all boys and girls. Stay away from him. You know, I really do feel sorry for all the lesbos on this campus. The lesbians of DePauw University, they never get any real satisfaction. That's why, that's why the lesbos on this campus, they have to use strap-ons.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, why do you need the threat of hell and a God to be a moral person? I can go my entire life without needing God to be a decent person, to not rape, to not kill, to help people out when I have a chance. Why do you need a God for that?
Good question. The question was, why do we need to present a God of judgment and punishment in order to be a good person? This person claims he's a good person without God. Your welfare grant students right there.
Yeah.
As long as they're loud, there's no use trying to preach over.
Yeah.
There we had an example of the prolonged side effects of masturbation. Also, we had an example of some very bad Michael Jackson impersonators. And you know where Michael Jackson's at, don't you? He's in fire and brimstone.
We're going to be closer to the crowd so it kind of catches the volume.
Everyone that you are hating against, they actually come from this section.
I read that. Now back to that guy's question. First of all, that guy was saying he's a good person. Okay, where's he at? Where'd he go? Where's he at? Where's that person, that young guy who asked the question? Where'd he go? All right. Did he leave? Where's he at? You mean he asked a question and then he he left without hearing the answer? Does he think his question is so profound that no one could answer it, so he left? Or, wait a minute, did he go masturbate in the bathroom? That's 2 X's for you. This pervert is double X-rated. Nobody's ever gotten more than 7 X's and lived. Triple X-rated. All right, where's that young man at who asked the question? Did he leave?